A little girl is carrying a bucket of water when she starts pouring it onto a car to wash it. A man inside the car, seeing this, asks what she was doing. She says she will wash the man's car because she needed to earn money. The man says he doesn't want her to wash his car and that she should stop that, but the girl continues. He gets angry and gets out of the car, saying that he didn't want her to wash his car and that she should stop doing that, but the girl asks him to let her work, because she really needed to get money. The man goes on to say that he doesn't want her to wash his car and that he doesn't have any money to give her. The woman who was in the back seat hurries him, saying that she is late for a party and that he should finish it soon, but the man asks her to wait a bit, because he would take her soon. He then tells the girl not to do that anymore and that she should stop asking for money, but the girl says she just wanted to work to earn her money honestly. The man then tells her to go to his house, that he didn't want her to wash his car and that she couldn't be alone on the street like that, so he gets in his car. The woman then says that she is in a hurry to get to her party and that she didn't have time to waste with that, but the man says that she should take it easy and that they were already leaving. The little girl then leaves sadly. When she was going to cross the street, a car passes in front of her, it stops and a boy comes out of the back door. The boy then takes the little girl by force and puts her in the car. Seeing that, the man gets desperate and tells the woman that someone had just kidnapped the little girl who was trying to wash her car, but the woman says she didn't see anything and says she was in a hurry, because she was late for her appointment. The man says that he couldn't leave things that way and that he needed to help the little girl, but the woman says that she doesn't care and that she was late for her party. The man then says he needed to do something to help the little girl. He then returns the woman's money and asks her to get out of her car, as she would no longer take her. The woman then gets out of the car angry and says she would rate the man poorly for his work, but he says he didn't care. The man then says he needed to save the little girl and leaves with his car to try to find her. Sometime later, he finds the people who had kidnapped the little girl and starts thinking about what he could do to save the little girl. He then starts looking for something he could use and notices that the woman had forgotten her luggage in the back seat. He sees that in the woman's things there was a wig and a police vest, and he has an idea to pretend to be a policeman in order to save the little girl from the bandits. The men then arrive at the scene and park the car. The boy gets out of the car with the little girl and covers her mouth and tells her not to make any noise. In the distance, the man sneaks up on the scene disguised as a police officer. The boy tells the little girl not to misbehave so she can meet her boss. Then the boy's boss arrives and asks if he had brought what he asked for. The boy says yes and shows the little girl to his boss. The boss then calmly asks the little girl's name. She says it was Isadora and asks what the man's interest in her name is. He says it was a beautiful name and asks if it was true that she worked washing cars on the street. She says yes, and the man asks if his employee had treated the little girl well. She says that the boy had not treated her well. The boss then scolds the boy, saying he wasn't supposed to treat his new friend badly. The little girl then asks what the man wants with her, and he says he had a job to offer her. The little girl then asks what that job would be, and the boss says it was a very good job, much better than washing a car, and asks if she would accept to work for him. Meanwhile, another little girl approaches the boss and hands him her money. She says that she only got that amount that day, which makes the boss very angry. The other little girl says that she didn't get any more money that day, and the boss says that she wasn't working properly and that because of that, she wouldn't eat for a week. The little girl then says that she was very hungry, but the boss says that if she wanted to eat, she needed to bring him more money. He then tells the little girl that it wasn't bad working for him, she just needed to work properly. In the distance, the man continues to sneak up on the scene. The little girl says she didn't want that job for him and declines her boss's offer. He then says that she had no choice but to obey him from then on. The man then appears and tells them to stay still and that they were trapped. This makes the boy very scared. The man then says that the two were under arrest for kidnapping the little girl. The boss says he could explain the whole situation and says those two were his nieces. The man then says he knows that wasn't true, because he had seen them kidnap the little girl. The boy tries to warn his boss that that man wasn't a real cop, but the boss says he wasn't doing anything wrong, he was just spending time with his nieces. The boss then says the man could arrest him and the man says he will arrest him. He pulls out a handcuff, but they are toy. The boss then starts to tease the man about the handcuffs, but he says that it doesn't matter and that he will arrest him. The boss then tells the boy to hold him. The boy then holds the man by the arms and the man tells him to let go. The boss asks if the man was trying to impersonate a police officer and the man says that what he was doing to those little girls was wrong. He says he wasn't doing anything wrong with them, he was just teaching them how to work. The man says he knows the boss had kidnapped those little girls, but the boss says he couldn't do anything as he wasn't a real cop. Then another man appears and says that even though the man wasn't a real cop, he was. He then arrests the boss. The chief says he can explain, but the policeman says he could explain at the police station. The little girls then thank the man for saving them. The man says he saw when the boy kidnapped the little girl and he asks forgiveness for treating the little girl badly. He then asks if they had any family. The other little girl says they don't and that after her parents abandoned her, he was living on the street, and the little girl says that after her mother passed away, her father abandoned her and so she lives alone in the house. Road. The man then asks if the two little girls wanted to move in with him, as their dream has always been to have children. The two are very happy and accept the man's proposal, and he says that they will form a very happy family.